Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Inside Story with Student Life. I'm excited today to have Nicole Herrin with me. I'm going to have her introduce herself, but she's here to talk about study abroad, which is part of the Office of Global Education. And I want to make sure that you know about some things that are coming up that you can participate in, and it's more affordable than you think and can be a great learning experience. So, Nicole, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about what you do on campus. And I'd love if you tell us where you went to college and maybe something that was meaningful that you were involved in as an undergraduate student.
Sure. Thanks, Tirza. An easy answer, I think, is that I did my undergrad here at CU Denver. I was a biology major, and I think the most meaningful part of my undergrad experience, besides studying abroad, because that's why I'm here, is that I participated in the University Honors and Leadership Program. I gained my best friends throughout college, throughout that program, and I really so value the interdisciplinary part of study abroad of UHL.
Mhm.
I got to learn all about what it means to be interdisciplinary, and I earned a minor in interdisciplinary research methods. And I feel like I'm a better student and person because of that program. So
That's
during my undergrad, I also studied abroad for a semester, which is not maybe typical of the UHL track that we do, but it truly changed my life, changed my career trajectory, and that's why I'm here today.
awesome. And tell me a little bit about your job on campus. How can students interact with you?
Yes, I'm a study abroad coordinator with the Office of Global Education. You can find us in LynxConnect as well as the Career Center and the Experiential Learning Center and undergrad research. So if you want any sort of experience outside of the classroom, that's where we are. You can come chat with us anytime. There are drop-ins available. You can schedule an appointment with us, and we'll talk you through all of the details of going abroad, whether that's for a short-term program, long-term program, whatever you're looking for.
Wonderful. Okay, well, let's jump into our questions. First thing I want to ask you is, when you think about the value or the purpose of studying abroad, what should a student know about value or purpose?
Sure. I think the most important thing to know about value and purpose of going abroad is that it's more than just the academics. It's those soft skills that you gain, it's that independence that you gain. We tell students often that when you study abroad, your chances of going on to a graduate school or professional school increase. Almost 60% of students go on to do that after studying abroad. Your chances of securing a job within 6 months of graduation are almost 100% when you study abroad. It makes you more employable. It makes you stand out on paper apart from all those other candidates. Employers consider offering students with study abroad experience a higher salary because they have those incredible soft skills that they just simply don't gain on campus without going abroad. And you gain these skills like cultural training and kind of a tolerance for ambiguity. You're really adaptable. And like I said, my most important skill I gained was being independent. I always wanted to be at home, when I was an undergrad. And then all of a sudden I was 5,000 miles away from my family, and I had to do everything myself, figure out how to get myself everywhere, learn a new culture. Everything was in military time, which was new for me. And, it's little things that you don't think
Yeah.
about learning here.
Where did you go on your trip?
I spent a semester in London.
Wonderful. I have a sister who lives in Scotland, and I remember the first time I left the country actually was to go visit her. And you just have to stop and problem solve differently. She wasn't
Exactly.
always with me. She'd tell me what bus to take and, what train to get on to go see something when she had to go to work. And yeah, it helps you think differently and again, become a good critical thinker.
Absolutely.
Yep. Well, talk to us a little bit about the variety of trips or opportunities and types of study abroad experiences that students can have.
Absolutely. There's such a wide variety. Any experience, any length of time, any academic credit that a student is looking for, we probably have a program that fits it, whether it's with our short-term faculty-led programs that we have through the office, or with one of our provider programs that offer programs as long as a year and as short as, you could go for spring break and just study Spanish for 1 week in Costa Rica with our providers. For all these programs, you do earn CU Denver academic credit. With our short-term faculty-led programs, they're already CU Denver programs. They're just taught abroad. And so that just goes straight on your transcript like any other class that you would take. Or with a provider, we work with you to make sure that courses are pre-approved. So when you transfer back in, transfer the credits back in, it still shows up on your degree audit and satisfies degree requirements. So we have programs between our programs and providers. You could go anywhere in the world that's basically not an active war zone. That's our limitation.
Right. Well, and that is a thing to think about. You want to go someplace where you can have a safe learning experience.
Yep.
Well, One of the things when I've talked to students about study abroad, a lot of them have just kind of said, I can't afford that. Like it's an immediate response. Can you talk to us a little bit about what's the average cost for types of trips, or what are funding opportunities? What should a student think about when it comes to funding this?
Yeah. So what I want students to know first and foremost is that sticker shock is real, and I get that too, but it does not have to be that expensive. You can use your financial aid to study abroad. If you're going for one of our short-term programs, it just comes out of your already what you have financial aid package. For winter programs, it comes out of spring, and for Maymester and summer, it comes out of what you have left over from that academic year. If you're going for a full semester, whether that's with one of our semester programs or with one of our provider semester programs, you can use your full financial aid package for that semester or for the year if you're going abroad. And oftentimes your package will be adjusted and bumped up a little bit depending on your program costs. What you could also think about is that a lot of programs abroad are actually pretty similar to staying here. So our semester in Beijing and our semester in Berlin are respectively $9,000 and $11,000, which for a lot of students is sometimes a better deal than staying here on campus. And that program price includes your tuition, your accommodations, sometimes a meal plan, excursions. Usually the only thing that's not included in a program price is your flight and any personal costs that you have. So there are programs that will range for example, our programs range from about $4,000, I think is our cheapest. We have a program that goes to the Dominican Republic. It's a communications course, and that is just under 4,000. And we also have a 3-4 week program in South Korea that also hovers around 4,000 to 4,500, somewhere around there. So it does depend on the location where you're going and how long you're going. But there are some semester programs, even with providers, that are under 10,000 for the semester. And when you really break it down with, if you were staying here in Denver and added up tuition and what your housing costs you and meals and books, all that, it tends to be quite similar with some of our providers.
I think that's a important thing for students to realize. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think, it's hard. We work in this industry, and that's why we do know this, that it can be quite similar, but a lot of students don't know that, and it takes a lot of research to know that. So that's why we're here to talk you through it and your opportunities with scholarships, financial aid. And those scholarships are available through our office if you're participating on one of our programs. This summer, we'll have a $750 scholarship to give away. We will have many of those to give away, but that's the award amount. You can use your financial aid like we talked about. And then there are scholarships both locally, nationally. If you receive the federal Pell Grant, you are eligible, or even if you are just eligible to receive it, you can apply for the Gilman Scholarship. And the Gilman awards up to $5,000 to go abroad for your study abroad experience, no matter how long or short the program length is. You have about a 1 in 4 chance of receiving the Gilman. All it takes is a pretty strong essay.
Wonderful. That's a good little tip to know, which leads me to another question. I know that when I went to college, you studied abroad if you were going to do it the summer after your junior year. You did study abroad or an internship that summer. Is that real in 2022? Like, can you study abroad at any time, or is it really that you should do it more your junior, senior year?
That's a great question, Tirza. And the statistics do tell us that students tend to wait until that summer after their junior year, or if you're doing a full semester, it tends to be the spring of your junior year or fall of your senior year. However, you can go abroad as soon as you have 1 semester under your belt at CU Denver.
Good.
And we encourage students to go a little bit earlier because it does provide that opportunity for you to gain those soft skills before you actually have had a chance to really settle in, and before it's, I hate to say too late, but oftentimes students find out about study abroad and they only have their major credits left. And those are a lot harder to find abroad and take abroad and have them transfer in and count towards a degree, than it is to take elective credits. Or what I would love for students to know is that any abroad experience, no matter what class you take, as long as it's academic, that satisfies your international perspectives credit. So don't take international perspectives at CU Denver. Go learn an international perspective actually somewhere internationally. So
I think that's a great tip. Yeah.
The sooner students go abroad, the better. And what we see from the majority of students who go abroad is that once they have returned, they want to go again. And so the sooner you go and, you get the travel bug, the more time you have throughout your academic career to do more experiences, more countries, and travel as much as you can while you're young.
That's awesome. Well, my last question is, could you highlight 2 or 3 upcoming trips, either for the summer or next fall, whichever fits your schedule, that you'd really like students to know about now in February?
Yes. So there are, for fall, I will say we are hoping to have our semester in Berlin program available next fall still. That's kind of TBD, but that's a tentative plan. As far as short-term programs go, there are a couple I would love to highlight. And I'd like to say first and foremost that there are programs available for every school and college, for every student at CU Denver. There is something available for you. For our short-term programs for the summer, one that I would really love to highlight actually comes out of the College of Architecture and Planning. It's called Mexican Ecologies, Craft and Restoration for More Than Human Actors and Environments. This program, although it comes out of architecture and planning, is going to be a cross-listed program that students in biology could take, in environmental science could take. It is designed to be truly interdisciplinary. And so no matter what major you are, if you're interested in this, come talk to us. It's going to be a great program. They have tons of scholarships available for this program to make it run this year. So that's one. Another one I would love to talk about is if you want to study Spanish with CU Denver and earn somewhere between 4 and 7 credits, depending on what courses you want to take. There's a month-long program in Valladolid, Spain with our Spanish department. You take a course with our faculty and one course at the local university. It's under $5,000. You stay with a homestay family. It is truly, I think, the most tremendous, cost-effective, incredible program that should not be passed up. If you have any interest in Spanish, this is the program that you should do next summer. And finally, I'd like to highlight a couple programs actually out of our our arts and media college.
Yeah, CAM.
Yes, out of CAM. The first one is CU Denver in Ireland, interdisciplinary art. And you can tell I'm focusing on an interdisciplinary theme here because I think that makes study abroad all the more valuable. It doesn't matter if you have any sort of background in art at all, you can do this program. As long as you have any sort of interest in art, you spend a month in Ireland with one of our faculty, Rian, perfecting or working on whatever form of art it is that you enjoy. I think those are the 3 highlights that I'd like to give you.
Okay, awesome. Well, students, as you're listening to this, if you're curious, again, I want to remind you that the Office of Global Education is located in LynxConnect. If you're not familiar where LynxConnect is, it's kind of a hard place to find. It's in the Tivoli Student Union. If you know where iPie Pizzaria is, exit the building from iPie onto the big patio, and right across the patio is their entrance. So LynxConnect, again, has multiple offices in it. The Office of Global Education is in there, and you can go up the stairs. Once again, you'll see a big staircase. Go in. They've got students there at the desk that are happy to help you get in touch with a drop-in person. So you can see someone right then, and they will meet with you individually and help you figure out what do you qualify for, what kind of research do you need to do versus what they can do for you to assist you in figuring out a trip and to really help educate you on what the costs are, what academic credit you can get. So Nicole, thanks again for joining me today. And students, I'll have lots of links down in the show notes for you. Anything else you want to say before we close out?
I just want you to think about how this is the best opportunity, the best time of your life to go abroad, to spend significant time abroad and be able to help pay for it with financial aid, with scholarships. I can tell you as a graduated adult that you just simply don't have that opportunity once you graduate. So if you're thinking about it, come talk to us. Let's make it happen.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Bye, everybody.